Hola, I'm Fivers and welcome to my first video of Witch. In today's video, I'm gonna talk about the new UR doll, Isabel, and why I think she's worth to pull for. The new doll is called Isabel, Executor of the Ideal Grace. It's a new Brimstone assassin. So basically we're going to compare Isabel with the best assassins that exist currently in the game. Selania, Akasa, and Madbave. But first, let's start talking about her skills and passive. The skill 1 costs 3 order energy, so it's the most expensive skill 1 over all the other assassins. It's physical attack type and is single enemy. The effect: the hook pierces through the ground and attacks the target in the back row, dealing damage equal to 450% of attack and dispelling the target's buff. The problem of this first skill that we're not gonna use that much is because it's pretty expensive. Skill 2 is called Suffer and it costs 3 chaos energy. It's a physical attack type and the range is single enemy. The effect consumes all the existing chaos energy to hit the target in the back row 5 times. Each hit dealing damage equal to 260% of attack. With every 1 extra point of chaos energy consumed, each hit deals bonus damage equal to 200% of attack. When you spend an extra point of chaos energy is what makes this ability insane. Like, totally insane. This skill 2, by the way, is just 3 chaos energy. All the other assassins that we're gonna talk about in this video have the skill 2 with 4 points of chaos energy. Let's talk about the passive, Ideal Grace. The effect: each time Isabel casts Break Free, that's the skill number 1, increases Isabel's crit chance by 7.5% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. So basically we're gonna be able to reach the 37.5% of critical chance if we stack it 5 times. Thing that I really doubt, because as we're gonna talk about next, we're not really gonna use the skill 1 of Isabel, and I don't think that the auto is gonna play skill 1 either. Now that we know what Isabel does, we're gonna do the comparison with the other 3 best assassins in the game that I mentioned before. To do that, I have this table with these simple formulas that represent the total damage that the abilities are gonna do without the critical hits, to make it simple. All the assassins in this game right now, all of these 4 at least, have the same attribute in attack. So basically, every time you see the word attack there, it's based on the same number if they are in the same level, same evolution, and same level of extension. So as we can see, the skill 1 of Isabel is the skill that is gonna do the most damage of all of them. 4.5 multiply the attack of Isabel. The thing is that the skill 1, as we mentioned before, of Isabel, it costs 3 order energy. So basically, to do a good comparison, we can see that if we use the skill of Selania 3 times, the skill 1, we're gonna do more damage than this skill 1 of Isabel if we are fighting versus 3 enemies. But beside that, the skill 1 is already better than the skill 1 of Akasa and the skill 1 of Madbave. As I said before, we're just talking about total damage. I'm not talking about the other effects that the skills have. This is just a comparison of the total damage of the skill. For other hand, where Isabel it has her max power is the skill 2 that is completely out of hand. The skill 2 of Isabel it costs 4 chaos energy, one less point than Selania, Akasa, and my base skill 2. And without using any extra chaos, Isabel is able to do already more damage with that skill than Akasa and Madbait, almost double of that damage, and it's close to the damage that Selania can do if she's hitting 3 enemies. By other hand, if we already spend 1 extra chaos, so at the end, if we spend the same amount of chaos that we're using when we use the skill 2 of Selania, Akasa or Met, we're basically doing 23 multiply the attack of Isabel, what is by far better than any of the other abilities in the total damage that the ability can do. And I'm not even talking about the huge damage that she can do with 2 extra chaos, 3 extra chaos, and 4 extra chaos spent. So yeah, Isabel Kit basically depends on the skill 2. And what we need to do is to have as much chaos energy as we can when we are gonna use this ability. So as I said in the comparison of the total damage of the different skills of each character, what we want for Isabel is to spend as much chaos energy using the skill 2 as we possibly can. So basically 2 characters that are gonna help us generating chaos energy are Amorai and Tuonel. Tuonel is gonna help us with her passive that in level 2 generates 1 chaos energy every 2 seconds. By other hand, we're gonna take advantage of the passive of Amorai that recovers 2 chaos energy when using the skill Diagnosis. That's the skill number 1 of Amorai, that at level 5 basically heals all allies for 300% of Amorai's attack and applies the Psyket to them for 15 seconds. Psyket attacks ignore the enemy's physical defense equal to 20% of self-attack. So basically, we're gonna run in our team skill number 1 of Amorai to generate that chaos energy using the passive of Amorai. Meanwhile, the passive of Tuonel is gonna be generating also that chaos energy. We're gonna help Isabel with the skill 1 of Amorai, because now the attacks of Isabel are gonna ignore some physical defense of the enemies, so she's gonna even do more damage. And what we're gonna do with Isabel is basically just use her skill 2. At the end, we're not gonna use the passive of Isabel at all, but that's okay. And that's how we should play it manually, and that's how normally the auto plays this team. Barely the auto plays the skill 1 of Isabel. That really, we don't really care about it. But yeah, this is why this team that is just basically created to generate as much chaos energy as we can. So Isabel's skill 2 is gonna spend a huge amount of extra chaos energy. It's basically took the first places in all of the bosses of Evil Return. And probably we're gonna see this thing also in the next path not taken. In my honest opinion, I don't think that this team is gonna be that great in Chrono Space Bridge. I think that I could probably run Catherine, Isabel, and Amorai, so you will have some protection on that Isabel, because if not, the team will actually be too squishy for Chrono Space Bridge probably. You should equip the bow on Isabel as all of the assassins and try to go to the bow that has the set effect of Orderly Fashion. If you have the other one, it's perfectly fine. The armor and the ring, you should place physical defense or magical defense depending on which boss are you doing. If it's doing physical attack or magic attack basically. or if you just wanna run a lazy equipment, I normally run just one of each to keep it balanced for Chrono Space Bridge, for example. To finish the video, after all we talk about Isabel, and I really think that she's so strong. There are some cases that you don't really need to pull for Isabel. Like if you don't really care about being the first one in every return, that's not really gonna change anything on you. You can continue playing Selania or Akasa in Chrono Space Bridge and you're gonna be fine. But in the other hand, I also think that she's gonna help you if you are kinda new in the game and you don't have Selania. I think that this is a great opportunity for you to pull for her, and she's gonna help your account in the next path not taken. And I really think that you should also take this opportunity and probably if you have enough resources, try to pull for her unique equipment that is gonna get extra buff on Isabel. Well, and that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you wanna see more content like this in the future. And yeah, I know that this is the last day that Isabel is gonna be able to summon for, so I don't know what are you waiting for. Ciao!